Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Leo, October 2020. If you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. I'll give you a quick synopsis and just a rundown of how I've laid out the cards. Everything that is central to the reading here is more specific to the career and finance aspects. Everything that is on the periphery relates to more of the general energy surrounding the month of October. So again, thank you for stopping by, and hopefully you'll be able to like and subscribe and gain some insight from this reading for the month of October. And for all my returning subscribers, love you. Thank you so much for your likes and shares, and definitely staying the course of the duration of the readings. I know they're longer. Okay, so I'll just quickly get into the synopsis. In short, I mean, as far as the reading itself, there is a heaviness around this reading. Not to say that it ends in any negative way. It was very positive, certainly a lot of elements of hope and overcoming challenge. I feel that it's more of a residual of previous months, that you have been dealing with some kind of turmoil. And I feel like I'm almost reading this for, three specific groups of Leos. The reason why I say that is because it feels, for some reason, there's a strong resonance or overtone of a health-related issue and perhaps even a loss of someone. And certainly there is some reference to, looking after your own health as well, and doing sort of a detox and trying to heal some kind of a relationship. But there's also not only just a strong relationship, and I feel this is not for the same group of Leos. I feel that there are, because we're dealing with general energies, and these are general readings, so these are readings that relate to, everybody from, let's say, 18 to 65 or up. So because of that, there's going to be some very strong distinctions in what is actually happening. If somebody is going for a job, that might be more relative to somebody who's younger versus somebody who's older and is, maybe more focused on a business or relationships in their life. So again, take it as it resonates. I will try to be as specific as I can, but from what I'm gathering here, again, some of you are dealing with some energies around health, and again, I feel it's more related to those that you're close to, someone in your surroundings, and again, I apologize if there was a loss, but certainly that is something that could fall under that same umbrella. There is also energies around you in a very deep introspective mode here. I even picked up something around the lines of legalities, and because I know COVID is such a very strong issue, globally, and although it's being managed and certainly there's some tapering off in a lot of areas around the world, it's still very relevant for those that may have lost a business, for example, or struggling with kind of maintaining their status quo. And so from what I was able to pick up, there is some gains. I feel that there was a loss, for sure. There's some kind of a loss around a partnership. Again, for some of you, it's a partnership in relation to a relationship, soulmate relationship perhaps, because that did come out in the cards, or something more specific for others of you, which was very strong in this particular reading, so this may resonate more specific to that group, but there is more of a resonating energy about partnerships and legalities and the need to change a perspective and heal that relationship to be able to go forward. But again, there was a lot of energies that came through. Because there's a lot of swords in this reading, there is definitely a lot of energies surrounding communication issues. But there is a few wands here and some universal energy and some things I'll also go through that relate to relationships and passion and that kind of thing. And there's some quick messages that are coming through, and definitely in terms of money, there is I've clarified some of the cards here as well, but there's definitely something coming in from the universe that is being gifted to you for all of the challenges that you've had, there is definitely victories. So whatever the loss was, or whatever this heavy challenge was that caused you a lot of anxiety and worry, and you know, I feel that you just really took it quite hard, whatever this was. But there is a lot of victory and independence, and you're finally able to consider, you know, looking forward now in the month of October. I'm not sure if this is at the beginning of October that you start at, but I suspect it's probably toward, you know, middle end kind of thing, and will probably carry over into November and so on. For some of you, as I say, I mean, energies are fluid. We're operating on different scales of time. It's not, everybody won't be, you know, we're not all, everybody that's, I'm trying to look for a way to just be a little more clear here. You know, not everybody is on Tuesday, October the 15th, going to be, you know, headed off to the ocean, for example. So, you know, as I say, energies are fluid, and everybody is going to carry on their lessons in life at a slower rate for some, quicker rate for others. So just take it as it resonates. Okay. Anyway, as far as the other aspects of the reading, I mean, for sure there's elements of, you know, some endings here. I feel lots of anxiety, though, over whatever this loss was, or this, and again, it could be a business loss, because I see a lot of energy around the Emperor, and some really demanding, controlling people in your world. And again, with so many swords here, I feel that there were even some false friends as well. I mean, the Seven of Swords could be construed as a card of strategizing as well, but because there's so many, and to be quite frank, this card fell out a couple of times with a few other cards, but I just thought they were clustered in too much of a bunch, so I put them back, and this one just kept coming out. So the Seven of Swords is relevant for this reading. So definitely some false friends, or some kind of mischievous that went on in, or has gone on. And this is, again, a carryover into October, and you're healing from this energy, because I feel like you've really suffered. There's just too many cards of, you know, emotional loss, truth, and there's cards of clarity and being strong and suffering, and, you know, lots of cards that relate to protection. So if the universe is protecting you on such a large scale here, it's because you really weathered some emotional issue that may have impacted your world on a financial front as well. Things layer, and although I don't do specific love readings, I would say that there is definitely an element of, for some of you, not for all of you, but for some of you, a relationship issue that was at the forefront. I don't know that I would say the relationship has fully ended. I felt that there was kind of a residual of some energy that was still being dealt with there. So whether it's going to end at some point, I mean, that's really, you know, up to you as to where you're headed with that energy. But there were cards that there was still some kind of attraction, and in terms of finances, you know, that might have been the issue as to what brought things to a head here. But certainly there is still some kind of romance and effort that was needed to be made. This was for those of you that have a relationship that is more of the concern, but again, for others of you, I felt this was more of a business partnership, because it just felt like there were about 3 different groups here that I was speaking to, because we do have a lot of cards of, again, spiritual protection. There's definitely lots of fear and anxiety and issues of, you know, victim mentality and self-sabotage. A lot of those cards coming through. So, but again, there's lots of cards showing that you are starting to get some kind of collaboration and working together. You know, there's a lot of 3s in this reading as well. So for sure, there's creativity and the start, abundance of projects going forward. I do feel that pride and some kind of, reserve maybe is sort of holding somebody back, whether it's you or another person. But there's definitely, cards of letting go of a lot of the tension and moving into abundance. So there's definitely some things that are coming through for you that relate to, getting back to the task at hand in reference to your work, in reference to your overall mental health and well-being. And I do feel that there is some kind of a conversation that's going on in regards to this partnership. Maybe the partnership has been revamped. Maybe there was a loss of a business, and the partnership is you're trying to reinvent the rebirth that same idea in a new way. It could be anything along that line. But again, there's still lots of victory cards coming through. So clearly there's going to be some, and reciprocity, definitely some kind of a sharing going on here, working together. So I do feel that whatever this partnership was, and again, whether it's romantic or in business, I do feel that there is some kind of coming together of clarity and an ability to move forward with one another again in perhaps a new way, but nonetheless, there's some kind of forward motion. Okay, so I do have a couple of new decks here I'll go through as I do the readings, but so I might have to refer to the book on a couple of these because these are, they're really, really new to me. This was a friend that had given me these. So this is actually the Star Seed decks, and I'll go through those as well. This is the Palladian tarot decks. So those are fairly new for me. So again, I haven't had a chance to really review those in any great detail, but I will struggle through with them best I can. Okay, so I'll just get right into the reading itself. I felt that, like I said, there's a couple of cards that kind of referred to you being between two worlds. And with the moon and the eagle toward the back here, that to me, the energy around all of that refers to, in my mind, you're somehow stuck between, I don't even really want to say specifically the past, but you're somehow trapped between some kind of spiritual epiphany or awakening or journey that you're on and the material world. So I feel that you're trying to, perhaps again because it was a loss of someone in your life that was close to you, maybe you've taken you've changed your perspective on what's important, and this is about you trying to prioritize where to go from here. Do you focus on the family, or do you focus more on maintaining your financial goals and moving forward on that front? So I feel there's some kind of a struggle there between, you figuring out what it is that you need to do next. So I'll start with the Moon card, and this is actually the Fortune Reading Cards by Sharina Starr and illustrations by Richard Crooks. So with the Moon card, the Moon is pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. Again, there are layers upon layers of cards here that also speak to that same idea that you are indeed needing to use your intuition to overcome whatever it is that you're struggling with right now. So with the Moon card, again, this, in the decks differ in some of their meanings, but this one really relates more to, you using your intuition, because there's a lot of things with the Moon card that are still hidden. They're still in the subconscious. They're things that have yet to come to the surface. So, Moon might be more relative to the beginning of the month, where things may still seem a little uncertain and unclear as to where to go. But you are going to find clarity as the month progresses here, because there's a lot of cards that speak to that as well. So the Moon card can also speak to, trying to be a little more, be strategic, be quiet about whatever it is that you're working on, or how you're going to bring something to the forefront here, if it is in relation to restarting up a business, or even with a relationship. Just work a little behind the scenes here, because the Moon card, and the reason why I say that as well is because not just with this one card with the Seven of Swords, this card showed up somewhere else here, in another deck. Yeah, somewhere anyway with another deck here. I won't take the time and go through each of the cards, but that is an indicator that you can have somebody or some people that are working against you that may not be, working in your best interest. So I would just be really careful about who you're sharing your confidants with in regards to this restart of your business or moving ahead with a relationship. You want to get clarity and try to see the truth in things before you commit. Because, certainly you have to trust your intuition, for a lot of that as well, because not everything is going to be at the forefront for you to be able to, make clear decisions. You're not going to necessarily be aware of all the facts that are operating around you. So, again, just being careful, avoiding gossip, anything that might get in the way of you moving forward. Okay, so again, that was the Moon card, and again, just waiting for some clarity, looking out for some deception before you move ahead in terms of career and money, just being a little more secretive about, what you're going to be doing up ahead. Eagle. Okay, so the eagle is about standing above things. So you'll soar towards your destiny with greater clarity and strength. Again, there's a lot of cards that speak to strength and clarity that are coming up here. So clearly you have gone through or are going through some really trying times here. Again, I feel for a lot of you, if this is just the residual that's coming through here, you've suffered an awful lot, but you are being spiritually protected with the eagle. Sorry. So with the eagle, this is also about spiritual knowledge. This is about following your intuition. This is about your guides guiding you, and that you're feeling more connected to your intuitive self and to your guides. So, and again, whatever your spirit guides are to you, be that, relatives that have passed on, or, or if it's a God force or an energy of sorts, whatever it means to you, you are somehow connecting very strongly in the month of October, and you are very protected by them in this period. So clearly it's because you're doing some deep healing, and you're struggling, but you are healing. And because you're opening yourself up on such an emotional level, you need that protection so that you're not, so that you have that time. You have that time to be able to get clearer headed. So again, this is a card that can indicate that, there may have been some kind of a trauma or something that you were trying to see past. Whatever that challenge was for you, this is a card that's giving you that keen vision to, rise above things. Don't get trapped in the minutia of it all. Rise above things so that you can, try to resolve the issue by looking at the obstacles with a certain level of detachment that allows you to clearly see that there is a cycle and patterns, a cycle of life and patterns that must, that we must go through to be able to overcome. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that for each of these obstacles or each of these depths that you've had to go, these layers of, dropping down into the caverns and dropping down into the lower layers of the land, for each level you've dropped, you've also been able to soar above it and see it from a whole other perspective. So you realize now that the reason why you had to hit those depths is because there is there's further growth here. This is abundance. This is the rainbow. This is the sparkles. These are the, it's funny because I never noticed that in the card before, but these are the things that are allowing illumination. These are the things that are allowing you those experiences will allow you to make wiser choices in the future, which will lead to even greater abundance. Nothing is an obstacle those obstacles are there for a reason. So whatever obstacles you overcome or whatever losses you've taken, there's a lesson in it. And so long as you don't just repeat that lesson, you will gain 3 times more from a lesson of that nature, and your success will build faster because you've already accomplished a certain degree of success. And it's knowing the patterns and the ways in which you achieved something, meaning that you're focused on it, meaning that you are in the moment. So if you're in the moment and you were thrown off from that pathway because of, as I say, COVID, very unexpected for a lot of people, it allowed you to see that you need to expand a business, for example, in a whole other way. And so that lesson learned means you can still build the business up in the way that you had before, but now you're having to expand it in a far different, methodology. You're using a different technology. You're using a different mindset to broaden your perspective. So it's a shift in your perspective. I'm just using that as an example, but you can see a clearer picture when you are the eagle. You're above things. You're not stuck in the mire of the problems. You're actually standing above it and able to recover from any bad luck or trauma with this card. So again, it's important to see your strength. It's important to recognize that you have the power and you have the wisdom and you have the courage to get through whatever it is that you're encountering right now. So don't be indecisive, because you have a lot of these qualities right now in the month of October, and you also have that ability to tap into the resources of your guides. So you have a sharper vision. You have sharper vision, meaning you can also expand because you're using guidance from Spirit. And that is a broader ability to find answers and solutions. Okay, so again, you're really connected to Spirit here. There's a lot of knowledge and a lot of guidance that's coming through for the month of October. So, for some of the periods where you're feeling like you're being enlightened, it might be wise just to take down some notes or, create some sense of recognition, because if you do fall into a negative place again, you might forget those little gains, those little insights. And so it's just better to build on the insights when you feel that as they come through. Okay, so the next cards out are this is the Babylonian Tarot, and that's Sandra Tabitha Cicero. So we've got the Three of Wands, and of course that's all about achievement. You've got the Six of Cups. There's pleasure. There's definitely some kind of a relationship connection here. You've got the universe, and again, the universe would be the equivalent to the world, so it's an end of a cycle of some sort here with the Eight of Wands. There's swift action, but there's also swift messages that are coming through with each of those connecting cards here. So starting with wands are definitely, as I said, an energy of passion or fire or movement and creativity and confidence, all of that. So we've got the Three of Wands, and again, that is some kind of a realization or some kind of success that's coming through after a time of struggle. So I do feel that there is you're getting cooperation from other people here as well. But again, just be careful about what it is that you reveal, because I did feel that you had some false friends, or that could have even been the reason why there was some kind of a partnership lost there. There is, I believe, even a few threes in here. So if that was related to a third-party situation, because I know the Three of Swords, I believe, was in this reading, that did come up. And again, there's several threes here as well, with the Three of Wands here and the Three of Wands here. I mean, you're overcoming it, but again, there is for sure some struggle that may have been around a third party involvement here. Doesn't have to be on a relationship level. It could be involved with a partnership in business where somebody, maybe offset the balance here. But either way, there is some kind of cooperation that comes through with this card here, and for sure, it's a card of achievement. And again, it's duplicated in your financial part of the reading here as well. The Three of Wands comes through there, and the Three of Wands came through with this reading with the Babylonian Tarot as well. And okay, so the next one out is the Six of Cups, and again, that's pleasure. So cups are all about emotions, and I did feel there was some kind of a relationship aspect that was coming through here for a lot of you, or for some of you, but this is definitely about happiness that's being built on the past. So Six of Cups is reflection. It does take you into a time when things were going really well. So I would say that this is you reflecting on how things were at some point, where there was a sharing of memories, and there was success, and there was a satisfying relationship of some sort. But this fond memory, as I said, I feel that there's some kind of healing place that you're in right now because of some kind of a disappointment that was involved here. But I think you just need to give yourself some further time to heal. And again, everybody's going to be a little bit different along that path as to how quickly they heal, but for sure it's a nostalgic card. And again, with the Six of Cups, it seemed to me you had that one as well in another area of the reading. Oh, actually, that would have been the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so moving on to the universe. So the universe, as I said, is an indication equivalent to the world, really, with that card, but it is about truth and honesty. It sometimes can represent travel. So if there was another card that gave me the idea that there could be travel involved, work, with a work front, I suspect, is what I'm getting. But again, this is definitely a card of kind of things coming full circle, and you've come to the end of one phase and moving into another. So even though each month you might be, or several months, you might find that you are coming to some kind of a close, and then another cycle opens, do remember that this can reference many areas of your life. So, in this particular instance, I feel like it has more relevance to your emotional state. But again, I mean, depending on what comes out here as far as the rest of the reading in the financial front, I mean, it could relate to that as well. But just at a quick glance here, because of the combination of the cards here being so close to the Six of Cups, I would say this relates more to that. So it's the ending of that phase of a relationship, and it's ready to take on a new understanding, or there's been some growth, there's been a new understanding. I still feel that this relationship, and again, for some of you it may be an actual end, but for others of you, I feel that this is still being worked on. So it's about some aspect that is that's still in the works anyway. But again, there's a lot of messages, or maybe a lot of texting going on back and forth, trying to resolve this between one another. There's some kind of swift action anyway that comes through with this card. So there's a lot of rapid energy, and again, this could be a lot of phone calls, a lot of communication, but the card usually indicates it's a hopeful change. So whatever those news, whatever the news is, or the communication that's going on between the two of you, or your business, front, there's a lot of information that is trying to be rapidly put together anyway, or a lot of communication to try to resolve it. And there's so many swords in this reading that relate to communication that, I feel that there's a lot going on to try to resolve whatever happened, whatever the issues were. Okay, so moving on to, I think I'll go to the Illuminati Tarot. This is the Keys of Secret Societies, and that's by Casey Dumal, illustrations by Bob Gravenstein. I really like this deck as well. I don't know why I don't use it more often, but anyway, we've got the Ten of Swords. Again, lots of swords energy. There's the Four of Pentacles, definitely trying to find some form of balance with the fours. We've also got the Seven of Swords here again. So, so again, because that's duplicated in both, the Rider-Waite deck and as well the Illuminati Tarot, I just feel like it emphasizes the issue. Sorry, my cat's in the room here, so hopefully that won't be a problem. So near to the fire gives me a little bit of uncomfortableness. But anyway, okay, so with the Four of Swords here, the Seven of Swords here, I do feel that there is a lot of issues around, again, communication. It's followed by the Three of Swords. It's conflict. Again, I can't help but feel that this, some kind of third-party involvement, whether it's on a romantic level or, again, on a business front, somebody else got involved there. But again, it's followed by the Sun. And again, there were other cards that also spoke to that optimistic, hopeful, and with another Three of Pentacles here, another three, there's a lot of creativity, but there's also a lot of people coming forward to assist you and kind of move you ahead, because you have a new beginning here with the Ace of Swords. So again, there's a lot of hope here in these cards that speak to you really coming out of this, not unscathed, but definitely for the better. I feel that you are changing your perspective. I think you're still in the place of trying to figure out, you're still between those two worlds, whether or not you need to, focus more on your business or focus more on your family. I think that you're just trying to find that balance. That's what the fours were all about there. So again, with the Ten of Swords, this is about things that led you to, places where it was painful. There was some kind of loss. Loss again of a loved one, or false friends, or betrayal, anything along that line where you felt there was some sense of mistrust. But again, it can also speak to hardship and exhaustion. So these are definitely, it was definitely a trying time. So again, for some of you, this may have happened earlier in the year. And this is still residual pain that you're working through. And for others of you, this is about, I still feel most of it as past, but I still feel that there's still a lot of energy, being worked through here. So Four of Coins is about, you kind of going back and forth, as I said, vacillating between the two worlds. You're trying to heal. You're trying to figure out what's important here. You're stuck between, family and business. Do you focus more on what seems to be most important to you, is what you're questioning. These are the things I feel that you're struggling with. So with the Four, you're trying to find that balance, but you're also in reflection mode here with the Four, because you are going back into the past here. I feel that some of you are really worn down because of this. You're quite drained. And for others of you, in terms of business, I feel that you're really sluggish. There's a lot of distraction, and you're not really in a place of wanting to make a decision here. This is really about, being overwhelmed or bored, but not bored in the sense of you're bored because of you just don't know which way to move forward. Every day seems to be the same. There's a lot of repetition here. There's a lot of struggle that you're not overcoming yet. So again, there's still a lot of heaviness with this reading for the month of October. So when you do get these little epiphanies, write them down, because I feel that you're going to go back and forth in this energy for a while. With, again, the Seven of Swords, it can be about, feeling like you've lost some kind of a battle with someone, or that there wasn't a lot of options for you to choose. This is also about, feeling like you could have been betrayed here as well. And again, very strongly on that front, because with the Seven of Swords, and with so many swords in this reading, and the Three of Swords, and again, just lots of lack of communication and, disappointment. I feel that you're having to rethink your position and change your position, and you're having to really go deep to be able to change this, find a new perspective so that you can renew or reclaim, some of the things that you feel you've lost and rebuild. So again, with the Three of Swords, that's all about the conflicts and the things that, it's all about the conflicts and the hostility, and again, it can represent separation from someone, or the loss of a business, or the loss of a job even. It can also indicate that there's some kind of delay in something coming through, again with disagreements or contracts or something along that line as well. But I feel for a lot of you, it's really just about something that went very wrong on an emotional front, or impacted you on an emotional front quite significantly. So with the Sun card, the Sun card is a very optimistic card. It definitely speaks to, sorry, there we go. The Sun card definitely speaks to optimism and having hope and faith, and there's a lot of good things yet to come for you with this card. So, I mean, there's success with this card, things are attainable. It's just really about you also, developing some positive growth and moving in the direction of your business or personal levels. And okay, so again, another 3 here, and with the Three of Pentacles, again, I just felt that there was still a lot of energy of, Pentacles are really still in the range of the physical world and how things manifest on the earthly realm. So this is definitely about, more practical matters, and definitely people that are still coming forward to assist you with this. But I still feel that there's some kind of creativity, whether it's creativity that's coming through in terms of solutions, or, some kind of generosity as well, or craftsmanship. There's a skill and a mastery that comes through with the Three of Pentacles as well. So, and I want to say as well that it's labor that you're having to do that's connected to other people. But it's not about luck. This is about you actually putting in the effort, you putting in the labor. And the reason why I'm saying you've got the Three of Pentacles, or Three of Coins in this particular deck, that relate to, making the most out of your labor, of your work, and creating mastery, or skill, developing a skill of some sort. And again, with the Three of Wands, you also have that energy behind it, and you're ready to take action on it. It's not something that's still in your head. It's something that's actually moving beyond that frame of idea zone. The reason why I'm bringing these cards out is because in terms of money, you've got the Eight of Pentacles, but you also have the King of Wands. So this is somebody who's really empowered, and I feel this is where you're working toward. This is what you're working toward. And with the Eight of Pentacles, that's really a card that indicates you are still trying to, you're building on a skill of some sort. You already have the skill. This is not some new territory that you're going into. I feel that a lot of you already have a strong skill base here. And again, if this is related to a business, or if this is related to a job, you're getting an opportunity that's coming through here for the month of October. But it's building on something you already have, a skill that you already have. And it is bringing you a certain level of independence with the Nine of Pentacles, and that allows you a certain degree of freedom. So Nine of Pentacles, as I say, I mean, it's a really, whatever independence means to you. I mean, if you're operating, I didn't feel that you were operating alone, which this card can indicate, but it is, in this case, because it's clarified with, some of the, again, the Three of Pentacles here, which again, that's a replicated card because you also had the Three of Pentacles here. So this to me indicates that you're working on something that you're really good at. You're really, really good at what it is you do. This Nine of Pentacles is a card of freedom. You've got a message coming in with the Knights, and definitely Wands of energy, the Queen of Pentacles, very successful energies that go alongside with this mastery, this level of mastery. So you're working towards something that's going to bring you strong stability and reward. And not only did you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, but again, these were clarifiers granted, but you also have the Ten of Pentacles. This is something that is definitely, definitely something that comes with a lot of promise, financially. So whatever it is that you're good at, don't give up on it, because you have the ability to take it further. And again, nothing, it's all done through hard work. I don't see cards of chance and luck and that kind of thing, other than you do have the Ace of Cups coming through, which is a little reward from the universe for doing the footwork. You know, whatever emotional, you know, issue that you have gone through here, the universe rewards you for those, for learning those lessons. As long as you don't continue to just repeat the same old lesson, you get rewarded. So the Ace of Swords is also that card about, you know, there has been some trouble and some difficulty that was coming through, or new problems, but it's also new solutions. So with, what is that saying go? With great is something to do with one of those hero movies. Something about great responsibility comes, anyway, that's not going to come to me, obviously. So, but the idea is basically, you know, with the new knowledge, there's great responsibility. So even though there's a lot of problems that come through, you know, for sure, for the month of October, you're still struggling to maintain that balance. There's definitely a lot of new solutions that come. There's new solutions. There's new ideas. There are so many victories that are coming through here. And victory, you know, means you've won a little. You've won a little token of a war, you know, or of a battle. So again, I mean, when I say victory, it, you know, on some small scale, you know, winning a ticket, or for example, if you get a speeding ticket, okay, I have to use this because I'm really bad at analogies. It's the only one I can think of right now. But, you know, if you've got a speeding ticket and you didn't have to pay for it, you know, for whatever reason you were let off on the ticket, you know, that's a little victory. And for whatever those little victories are for you, it's a victory. So again, there is victories, several of them actually coming through for the month of October for you on a legal front. And again, with the Chariot card there as well. But with the Ace of Swords, you have the solutions to those problems. So this is also a card of victory. It's also clarity. It's realization. You know, it's also standing up for yourself with courage. So a lot of really strong cards coming through. You definitely have a lot of your own answers here. So I'm just going to move some of the cards out of the way here so I don't have them tumbling all over. Okay, so the next cards out we'll do is the numerology guidance cards, Michelle Buchanan. So we've got health and pride. With these two cards here, you know, I mean, clearly I did mention that I felt there was some kind of a health issue that was pretty predominant coming through in the beginning there for the month of October. So again, for some of you, this is, you know, perhaps, you know, it related to somebody else's health that you knew. That was very significant in your life, or again for yourself, it can be just that you need to focus on your own well-being and your own self-care right now. So you're just encouraged at this time to just take note of your mental state, your mental health, as well as your physical health. I mean, for some of you, you might have been using vices to try to relieve the stress, and that might have come in the way of drinking or excessive eating or excessive smoking or whatever it might be. So this is really about, it's a check-in, you know, just to say, you know, start practicing regular, you know, better nutrition and drinking water, detoxify your body, get out and exercise, get into nature, you know, try to reduce being around toxic people and those kinds of things, be in better environments and laugh more, and try to find, you know, ways to relieve some of the heaviness and the burden that you felt for the month of October, and maybe even just prior to this as well. But you want to find ways to get yourself to take action, to stop procrastinating. So with the card of pride, I feel that there is somebody in your world here that that needs to be changing their perspective, and whether that's you or someone else, it's got to be, you know, somebody who is putting their ego before the actual, there's no negotiation here is what I'm getting at. When I feel that there should be, I feel that this is a situation that would benefit from a negotiation. I don't feel like it's a cut and dry, you know, scenario that is not, that everybody needs to be punished, and there's right and there's wrong and there's clear, you know, line drawn in the sand, that kind of thing. I feel that you feel that this situation is salvageable on some level. You may not be ready right now to go ahead, and you may still want to punish someone, or maybe they're punishing you. But either way, there is some kind of courage somebody has to take to get past their ego and open that doorway for that resolution. So this is really about somebody just being stubborn, and, you know, somebody's got to find a way to shift their perspective to be able to negotiate a new game plan. Okay, so following that is I think we'll do the energy cards. These ones are by Sandra Ann Taylor. Just looking for the cards. Oh, there they are. Okay, so these ones are financial constraints. We also have walking away from all of that. And there's blossoming abundance, and of course the anxiety, which was pretty much throughout, and then the thinking man. So again, there's lots of cards that relate to fear and anxiety that you're struggling with. So that's not really a novel scenario here. We know that you are going through a very heavy time, but you are going to get past it for sure. In the month of October, you're getting little insights. So with the financial constraints, again, I feel that there may have been some issues surrounding money, and perhaps this is what caused the issue with a business or a job loss, or, you know, something that related around your relationship here. But either way, there is a walking away from those difficulties here. So again, you're getting past all of that now. So whatever the pain was, that is, I feel that's the greatest, that's the heaviest that it's really going to get at this point. Now you're on the upswing. So this is really about something finishing off. So whether it was a career or job loss, or, you know, some kind of long-term relationship or a business, whatever it is, again here, this is about you opening up to that road ahead now. So you're actually seeing a new beginning here. This is about you letting go of old habits, or, you know, false friends, people that you realize that you couldn't really trust. You're walking away from them now. And for those that are family members or something along that line, you're just putting up boundaries around them. So it's not necessarily that you're closing all the doors. You're just closing off the doors that relate to the deeper parts of yourself, and perhaps keeping some of those relationships a little more surface. Not revealing everything about yourself and your every move, which you don't really have to anyway. This is really about when you're able to, you know, operate independently like that. I mean, it's a mature, capable person that can handle their own thoughts like that. So, you know, this is, and that takes time to acquire, and it takes many lessons. It takes many, you know, times around, around the cycle of life. In going through those seasons to figure out ways to be the best you can be. So again, this is a card of increasing prosperity. So there is some kind of universal blessing coming through here with that blossoming abundance. So definitely in October, you are going to see some kind of gain. There is definitely a gain. With the cups here, I mean, that indicates that it's more of an emotional abundance, like it's something that you want. But again, because it's clarified with the Ten of Pentacles, I suspect there is something that is kind of twofold there. It's something that is related to money, as well as on the emotional front here. So again, either way, there's some kind of gain that's coming in. Okay, so again, just as a, just to reiterate, I mean, for sure, we know that you are going through some really heavy energy right now. With the, with the anxiety card, I mean, there might have been a lot of self-sabotage going on here. You're just worrying and trying to, thinking that you don't have the answers, but you do. You are so connected to the divine. You're so connected to spirit. You're so connected to, this, your angels or those that have passed on. You're so connected to that energy. You will find the solutions here. There's, you're pushing yourself into all this heavy stress when you really just need to distance yourself from the situation, step back and see it from a greater scale. And from the greater scale of things, this is just another problem that you've faced in the grander scheme of things. So, just to halt yourself. I'm not minimizing your situation, but I am trying to have you detach a bit from the worry and the anxiety and the emotion, so that you can actually strategically see your way through to plot a course of action. So it's okay to feel the feelings, but if you're stuck by the storm, then you're not actually learning from the lesson either. So you have to find ways to create little incremental steps of growth. And I feel that you will, but this is just a reminder of that. So this is a card of whether this is a male energy around you or if this is actually you, but it's some kind of understanding that's coming through. So again, after a period of reflection, this is really about the presence of somebody coming forward, whether it's you figuring out your own answers or someone, but I feel this is actually more along the lines of somebody coming in to help you to thrive. So this is somebody that's helping to, work through those finer details or of a contract, or, helping you to get back on track with your chosen direction, like your path. Whether that is spiritual, mental, or an emotional path. But either way, it's about trying to reorient you to pay attention to, your personal growth here. So this is about even a love interest that might be coming back to help, clear things up. Something is coming your way either way. So be on the lookout for someone that is going to come in to introduce you to a new technique or a new way of thinking, but it's somebody who can change your life or heal you. So whether this is a friend or a love interest, it's something that is going to benefit you either way. And maybe that is the reason why you're able to come out of this or start to see some glimmer of hope, because you are getting that movement from other people coming through. So again, we've got emotional loss, we've got truth, so you're seeing more clearly now, and you definitely have light. There's reason for optimism and hope. And you've got power. So this is about you having the strength and the integrity and the tenacity and the endurance to be able to overcome the obstacles. You may have been suffering in silence or really brooding and really deeply hurt and struggling with something, but you have the spiritual strength. You have your ancestors around you. You have spirit around you that you can ask for guidance. And again, that comes from that wisdom. Comes from going inward and asking the right questions. So, it's not enough to say, just help me. You need to say, help me to overcome this emotional burden, and how can I release the pain, or how do I go forward, and find a resolution to my job situation? How do I, recreate myself? How do I find a way to be more creative? How do I, rebuild my energy? Whatever those questions are. But again, that's just general idea. But again, you're still seeking balance here. But, just in short, I mean, a lot of the cards here, as I say, I mean, the black borders are all spiritual protection cards. And again, with the blue, that's about communication coming through here. We've got spirituality with the purple. But again, starting with, The green, this is again about love, health, and balance, and nurturing, and it still speaks to abundance. So this is a card that is speaking about a renewal, but it is referenced around the heart chakra. So with this card, again, it's about taking that time to heal yourself, but it's also about finding a way to change your perspective, about what the situation is that you've been dealing with. So I feel that for the most part, you're working on it in the month of October, although I feel it'll be a longer journey than that. But I mean, this is suffering that, again, is really deep in your soul. But the card definitely still speaks to, you having real, unique gifts and talents and abilities, and you just have to remember that those painful experiences, are valuable and will aid you in creating happier ones down the road here. You just need to focus all the positive energy, that you had when things were good, and be grateful for that, and use that as healing energy to put forward into the new stage that you're moving into. So again, for some of you, if you're grieving a loss of somebody and there was some kind of a death, this is about, redirecting that energy into a light, taking the energy of all of those experiences that you knew with that individual or individuals, and using their light and their presence in your life in a way that is energy that goes back into the world that's useful. So again, you're speaking your own truth, but you're using the energy of how those people have impacted you, or how that person has impacted you, in a way that is congruent with your awakening here. So there's a clarity, there's a revelation of truth that comes through with that. So, this is, again, accepting, it's healing, it's forgiving, and it's moving forward. So again, it's a card of seeing things for what they are. So if you are, for others of you that are healing a relationship that is still, in existence, and that just went badly, this is a time for you to see the truth, accept it for what it was. You're not making any hasty decisions here, but you are opening the door. You're opening the door to heal and accept and negotiate, so that significant change of some sort can take place. So the next card out is the card of light. So with the card of light, it's a card of optimism, but it is also a card of prosperity and things happening around you that are going to bring pleasure and happiness and contentment and growth and illumination. So again, this is about, it can be kind of, a new job of some sort that's coming through, but it's definitely a card of, you're now in your own moment here, that you are open to, you're attracting something into your life here that is something that you want. Okay, so we also have the card of power. And again, with the card of power, I mean, it's the equivalent really of the strength card. And so it's time to resolve something. And you're going to have to use your inner strength. You're going to have to use that willpower, your ambition, your determination, your courage, your compassion, and your generosity, and all of the skills that you need to cope with any adverse, difficult situation, whether that's in love or whether that's in business. But you're going to have to draw upon your personal power, your physical power, your external power, your external strength, your wisdom, all of those things. You're going to be using your emotional, your physical, your spirituality, your enlightenment, all of those things, your mind, all of it, to develop, or rather to understand a situation, develop some kind of camaraderie or some kind of understanding between you and another person. You are going to have to pull out all of your resources to find a way to heal that situation. So again, it's more for your own personal balance versus the perfection of a situation. It's about how do you find a sense of balance. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just how do you bring yourself back in balance enough that you can move forward. So because you are in this place of suffering and silence, this is not a place where you're moving forward. This is not a place where things are healthy. This is a place where you're a little stymied. This is where you're stuck. But a 9 definitely indicates that you are at a period of completion. So, you're ready to move on is what the card is saying here. You're ready to move on. You've already pushed yourself into this place of despair and worry and trauma, and you fought yourself back and forth with all the issues and negative mindset, and now it's time for you to release that and try to find some positive new path here. This is a card of, again, self-sabotage. With the 8s are self-sabotage, the 9 is you're ready to let go of that now. You're ready to take action. So, but you are going to have to rely on the spiritual strength. And again, it's another card of a 9, so you definitely have, it's a card of action. And it's a card of completion on that level. So where the 10s is full completion and you're pretty much moved on into the next stage, the 9s are about taking the action because you've already wrapped up something here. So this is about completing whatever it is, wrap up whatever it is that you needed to use your courage and your discipline and your stability, and start moving in the direction of, sorry, worried about my cat situation there. Start moving in the direction of, where you need to go. Where were you headed in the first place, before the upset? Sure, you might have to reroute or change it in some way, but the path is still the path. You have to push on and take your scars from the battle and use it as a resource. You've gained something from that battle. So again, I feel you are moving into a place, in October, or again, for some of you, it might take a little bit longer to resolve, but there is some form of balance that's coming through here. So what you wanted to have happen is now starting to take place. And I feel before it arrives on the external, it starts in the internal. So what's happening right now is this is an internal process. It's not really quite there into an external process where you're going to see everything around you start to fall into place. It's more of the internal war battle that you're dealing with right now, that you're finding some kind of justice, some kind of triumph and victory. Not to say that you're not going to get some other justice and triumph there too, but in the external world, because I do feel for some of you there is a legal issue that is that you are winning over. But in terms of the internal, I feel that you're actually able to operate from more of a rational, logical place here, and this is what's giving you the balance to be able to create an external change. So again, when you are internally balanced, emotionally, physically, mentally, and you're then able to act from a rational place where you're able to make logical decisions. And that's really important because you do have, again, for some of you, there's a legal issue and you need to keep your wits about you. You need to, to keep your mind in control of your emotions and that kind of thing. So the next cards up are the Moonology cards, and this is about a new start is coming with the new moon, and you've got step out of your comfort zone, and a win-win outcome is forecast. So even though there may have been some kind of a loss, there is still some kind of a gain that's coming through here. So you actually are going to find a way to, start making steps forward, anyway, is what I'm going to say, because again, you have a new start that's coming here. So whatever your answer, if you had a question, your answer would be a yes here with this card. This fresh start is about something that's going to make you feel more hopeful and feeling the desire that you you are able to start manifesting or dreaming again. You are able to forget about the past and have some belief in yourself here. So again, if there was something that was toxic around you, this is about clearing up all of those old cycles or those old beliefs and thought patterns, and you're wiping that slate clean, so to speak, and you're actually able to stay on target again. You're able to feel a more desirable outcome coming for you. You're starting to break free from that stagnation. So not only that, but we also have the step out of your comfort zone. That card is, again, just that. I mean, you're leaving the past behind. You're actually moving forward, and you're starting to live your life on purpose, as though you're really moving toward your destiny here. I feel that you're in line. Your actions are in line with something that makes you feel like this is your path. So you're able to stop obsessing about someone or something with this card. You're starting to stand on your own 2 feet, is how the card references that. So you're really becoming independent here, and you've got the courage now. And again, there's so many cards of courage. And we also have the win-win outcome is forecast, and I think that one's pretty straightforward. Again, this is, you having more victories that are coming through here, whether that's in terms of a partnership or a love situation that you've negotiated. But those peaks and valleys, those highs and lows are now coming to some conclusions here, so that you're actually able to work from more of a professional standpoint, or to balance out the ego if it's in relation to in relation to something along that line. But there's a win here, and again, this is letting go of the things that weren't working. But so there's a loss on that front, but you are changing your perspective. You're negotiating something else here. You're making, you're using your focus differently. Instead of dwelling on the past and focusing on all the things that didn't work, you're actually able to look after yourself here. And you could even be, thinking about kind of doing a makeover of yourself, so to speak, reinventing yourself, changing your look, changing how you dress, changing how you present yourself, changing how your business presents itself. This is also about dramas and upsets, about partnerships and negotiations, that all of that's just falling away with that Libra energy, because Libra is all about the balance. So all of those things are now starting to line up or align. So the next cards out are the Earth Magic cards. So this is Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer. You've got Vision Quest, you've got Shape Shifting, you've got Activation and Purification. So again, a lot of cards of, starting to get back on track. Definitely cards of clearing away some of the old and moving into, the new. So again, I'm just going to pull forward some of the cards here again. So when we're looking at the Wind Activation card, I mean, this is about something being stagnant for a period of time, which, I feel that you were on an emotional front. I feel that you were just, you just didn't know which way to move. So this is about activating things again. This is about getting rid of that lethargy and moving forward, and you're finally getting that breath of fresh air coming through. This is about you finding a way to hear things, a way to get in touch with your senses again. You're finding a way to, whether that's getting back into nature, getting out there and playing tennis, or going out by the ocean, because I kept seeing pictures of water for some reason. But there's definitely even music, anything that helps to activate you it's that time. The month of October is the time to take that action to activate your senses again. So you need to do that through your surroundings. You're doing the internal work, but you need to take the internal and make it external, so that you can get out of your physical body and start to be active again. So you need to practice, creative attention. Focus on that. So again, there were some energy here around with the clouds as well. Clouds is shape-shifting, so again, it's still a period of some very heavy energy that you're just trying to work through. It's not, again, you're still in a period where There might have been some highs and lows and that kind of thing that are still coming through for the period of October, but you're starting to find a way to use that energy to your advantage. So if you're feeling really angry, you might be throwing on some heavy music, to burn that energy out. If you're finding that you're in a low place, you might just go on a walk and sit by the mountains. You're starting to use those subtle and those dramatic energies in a way that is about closer to your self-expression, so that you again can activate but also transform and be present within yourself. So you're taking on different forms of that energy and making it work for you in a way that empowers you, so that you can move with it, not just past it, but with it. So the stuff that is too heavy, you will eventually let go of, and the stuff. But you're in the meantime, you're running with it and letting it purge its way out, which is again followed by the rain, and that's that purging with that purification. So this is about you, purifying the mind, the body, and the spirit. And I will mention in the Moon Eagle deck here, the fortune reading cards, there was also a card that fell out, although I didn't take it, but it was also the Phoenix rising from the ashes. So I do feel that you're purging things that no longer are useful for you. You're getting past that grief. You're realizing the things that are holding you back, and the things that were emotionally causing you a deeper wound, really. You're detoxifying from all of those things. So just to be aware that you're having to move forward now in the month of October, whether that's toward the end or not, remains to be seen. It's your journey, but for sure it's a time where you are able to harness some of that strength, courage, and power to get past it, because the energies are there. You've also got the desert, which is the vision quest, and this is again about shape shifting as well. It's about being sharp and clear on where it is that what home represents to you. So you're trying to get the lay of the land, so to speak. You're trying to make sense of the characteristics around you and how to navigate and journey through, and using your visions and your connection to spirit to see more accurately. So this is how you survive. This is about you understanding the territory, the terrain. This is Vision Quest is a journey that you're doing alone. This is something that you spending time with you, which you knew that you would be doing here for the month of October, but you are eventually taking action past that. But again, that card could also represent, whether it's prayer or whether it's meditation, but there's some kind of powerful revelation of some sort that also comes through with this card. And it is time for you in the month of October to go on that vision quest. It's time for you to get out into nature or to take a drive somewhere that you haven't been before, and just allow yourself to have, your surroundings amplify the message. So, okay, so the next card's out. Will be the Akashic Tarot Guidebook. Okay, that's the Sharon Ann Klinger, Sandra Ann Taylor cards. These ones are fairly new for me too, but I really like what I have. The few times that I've used it, I really like them a lot, actually, quite a bit. So it's the Eight of Keys, which is the Master Artisan, which we've discussed as well, and you've got Archangel Gabriel, again, another 3. Creativity as well as cooperation and help from others. The Oracle of Delphi, you definitely have incoming spirit guidance and protection. Very, very strong in the month of October. 5 of Roses, the Garden. So still some conflict and things to work through. And with the 2 Scrolls, the 2 Worlds, you are transcending and vacillating between the two, but there's definitely some work that's being done there that you are healing from. So we'll start with the first one here, which is the Eight of Keys, and that's the Master Artisan. So, again, it's about somebody who is perfecting their skill, and but there is definitely fruits for that labor. So something is being earned here. This is a card that indicates that there's an opportunity that's being offered to you, regarding your talents, and it is related to your purpose and your gifts to the world. So this is, again, it's about something coming through for you, again, for the month of October, that's related to your gifts, something that you've worked for that you are going to get some kind of reward or opportunity. And you could also be, for some of you, teaching or training. But either way, there's some kind of public recognition that goes with this particular card. So, I mean, I didn't see the star card come through with the Rider-Waite deck necessarily, but with this particular card, it does indicate that there is some kind of public recognition for your gifts, and that you're sharing those gifts with others. So you're building some kind of a reputation for yourself, which is leading to some kinds of opportunities. And you do need to take that action, and you do need to let yourself shine and be empowered with that energy of that card. So we also have the card of, let's see here, Archangel Gabriel. So again, that was another card of, it's a 3. So the threes represent that creativity. It definitely is energy coming through that you're getting assistance. But with this particular card, it's also a divine messenger. So this is the Archangel of Communication. So this is Archangel Gabriel coming through to assist you with that logical, wonderful presence that you need to present, and perhaps it's in court. But again, it is about expressing your feelings, whether that's on the front of a relationship or with a negotiation in a partnership, but it's definitely projects that involve communication. For others of you, this card also indicates publishing or counseling, journalism, marketing, television, anything along those lines, anything that's media-oriented, anything that revolves around power of words. And certainly Gabriel is an archangel that is a card that inspires you, or inspires others. It's an inspirational card. So just be aware of that. Use that energy as best you can. As I say, you get windows of opportunity, windows of energy that open up to you, and it's important to recognize what you can use to your advantage. We all need moments to leverage up, and we all need, some of those advantages, because life is a challenge. It is truly a game of leveling up. It is truly a game. So, and when I say leveling up, I'm not saying everybody has to rip each other off and anything on that line. What I'm trying to get at is, leveling up from the self that you start out as, and overcoming your own, I don't even want to really say weaknesses, because sometimes a weakness can be a strength and a strength can be a weakness. So, but it's leveling up in the way that you feel that you are able to feel strong in the world. So take it on that front. But the Oracle of Delphi is a card of psychic perception, and definitely the universe coming through to guide you. You're very, very connected psychically. You're very psychic during the time of October. And this is also about you being receptive to, you're going to be getting, this could be coming through in terms of dreams for some of you, images or messages or feelings. And everybody interprets things a little bit different. Some people hear a little voice in their head. Sometimes it's just a gut feeling where you feel like you need to do something, to take action. But this is where you take those notes. This is where you use those interpretations and realize it's actually a awareness that's coming through from your guides. It's that Akashic vision of the world. It's the the library of the world, where you are able to access information to guide you through. So it's where you're getting in touch with the ascended masters, and and you can call upon them specifically to help you to move forward as well. So the next card out is the Five of Roses. So again, or actually maybe I should, we'll do the Five of Roses, which is the garden. So this can also be about children. So this one can, there may be children somehow that are in the mix. And again, if this is related to the breakup of a relationship or some kind of a challenge within that relationship, that might be why the children are on your mind here. But it's still a positive time, and just to enjoy children. Despite whatever else is going on, children have a view of the world that really releases a lot of the pent-up tension and struggles that we become mired in. They can see past, the micro level of issues that we have to confront, and they're able to see the world and all of its beauty on a broader level. And that's very, very important to have that kind of balance. You can't stay stuck in the minutia. Sometimes you need to step back and see the beauty of the world before you head back into the minutia. So the last card is of that batch anyway, is the Two Worlds, Two of Scrolls. So as I mentioned before, I feel like you're vacillating between, what's important to you. I feel like you're trying to heal on some level, stay spiritually connected, trying to decide, do you focus on work, or do you or do you take a job, or do you try to create a business again, or do you, try to get back together with the person that you're with? Like, these are all just little scenarios. However it pertains to you, is really what matters. But it's about you having some sense of awareness of what to do and where to focus. You're trying to focus on what's important here, but it's really about finding the balance. At all times you can't be 100% in balance, but you can definitely find a balance by devoting a little bit of attention, for a certain period of time to love or family and your financial success. And you can pull away and try to realize that you don't have to keep the ball rolling. Children can still entertain themselves in a room with, artwork or computers or whatever. You don't have to be there at all times, monitoring their every need. As with relationships, you are able to pull back at some points, and sometimes you can work in conjunction with one another. There's ways to find balance, and again, it won't ever be 100%, but you have to trust that the relationships that you have with people, that there's an open dialogue, that there's a communication between everybody, so that you can realize when you need to push, or when you need to pull, or when you need to learn, or when you need to exchange, or when you need to contribute, that kind of thing. So that it's constantly a balance of power shifting and negotiation is really what life is. But it's also in realizing, what elements you want to be important in those relationships. If you want children's learning to be really important, then you're going to focus on your time and energy with them in learning activities. So that's just using that as an example, but you want to recognize the things on that front that are important. So to you, that you make sure that they're ready for the world in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so almost to the end here. Okay, so the next cards out are, these ones are actually the Tarot Illuminati, Kim Huggins, Eric C. Dunn. So we've got the Alchemist, of course, that's closest to the Magician. And we've also got the Prince of Pentacles. Again, these are more along the lines of Knights. And again, you've got another 3. So lots of creativity coming through, in cooperation, connection to people here. So the 3 of Cups, that's definitely, happiness and celebration. And again, the Sun. So again, with these cards, lots of optimism, lots of reasons to celebrate. There's definitely something that's coming through, probably toward the end of the month is my guess, because of the way the cards in the financial aspect are laid out. But there is something that's going to be of a reward for you anyway, and that will give you cause for celebration. So with the Alchemist, this is about a big change, but it's also a change that you are using all of your resources. And again, you're using your courage, you're using your power, you're using your intelligence, all of your tools, all of your attributes, your skills, your resources, to be able to bring about the things that you want into the physical world. So that also it's also channeling the divine and using that energy and those resources to focus on that one goal or several goals. It's using your abilities and your skills to manifest something, to create something. And again, I say that too because, especially if you are dealing with a court case, as was, I felt noted earlier, I think that you really do need to be able to, use all of your abilities to be able to create that sense of, I don't want to say control over your world entirely, but I mean, I will say that I feel it is offering you some sense of control. When you win battles, you then, even though you don't have all the knowledge of the world, you definitely have some sense of control that you are empowered by to keep moving forward, and that leads you to the next step and the next step and the next step. Prince of Pentacles. This is about protection. So you've got somebody who is, again, this could be a past relationship, or somebody who's passed on, that kind of thing, ancestral, or a loyal friend. But there's some kind of protection that's coming through, somebody that you can rely on, that's coming through to help you. And they may be helping to protect you financially, or it's just a loyal friend, or... but either way, the card does speak to some sense of protection around the money anyway. So I feel that this is more of an energy than a person, actually. It feels like it's more of an energy about protection around the money. So again, with the Three of Cups, there's a reason to celebrate, and maybe that is because there is protection around that money. Because, again, it just doesn't feel like it's quite a person, although it could be. But either way, with the Three of Cups, you've got some kind of abundance. There's a reason for celebration. There's a reason for some kind of happiness that you're sharing here. Could be just some kind of social event that's coming up here that you're all engaging in, but it is a reason to enjoy life, or enjoy the party, or you in the moment of celebration. You're just expressing joy here. So this is definitely a card of abundance, and with the Sun card, of course, that for sure is truth, illumination, things coming through that. Where if you needed an aha moment, that is that moment of truth. That is things coming to the forefront for you to be able to recognize what direction you need to go in. But it's also a time of good fortune and prosperity here. But I feel because this card is coupled so closely to the Three of Cups, I feel like this is something to do with this, this win or this victory, and perhaps it's related to a court, in regards to somebody who's a very controlling person. But either way, this is about good fortune and prosperity and a happier time. So you've risen above something with the Sun card. And again, it comes through multiple times here with these readings, within this reading. Okay, so next cards out are the Quantum Oracle. So this is the Kindred Partnership. You've got Ascended Masters, you've got Milestone, you've got Fear, and you've got Decrease. And then there's Victim Mentality. So again, that self-sabotage card. So I did feel that, again, I felt like I was speaking to a few different groups here, not any one particular, their general readings. So with the Kindred, this is all about, people in your life, obviously, with the Kindred Partnership. So this is about a relationship of some sort, some kind of union, where there was a deep feeling, deep emotional connection of some sort. So, I mean, I feel that because it was coupled with, so many of the other cards of pain and suffering and this kind of thing, that there was some kind of a commitment or work partnership. It could even represent that, or some kind of a legal agreement of some sort that had severed, or that, was challenged. But again, like with the Ascended Masters card here as well, I just feel that there was something about a sense of, it's not that I feel that there was an actual breakup of some sort. I feel that, and I don't think it was as small as a miscommunication. I think that there was actually some kind of significant upheaval. But again, with the Ascended Masters, I feel like you're calling upon those that have gone before you, that have, that you needed to seek some kind of resolution from. So you needed to find a way to open up, to be able to resolve your issue here, and, find some kind of unconditional love for both yourself as well as the other parties involved here. But this is a time of, trying to get through those difficult periods through enlightenment, through divine connection. But there's also some kind of, with the Ascended Masters, there's also some kind of energy of having, again, to detach from things to be able to deal with things. So whether you were detaching because you had some kind of obsession or some kind of addiction or some kind of desperation, around a goal or a business or a person, that's why there's so much healing that's coming in here. But again, there's a card with the milestone that speaks to an event that's taken place here. So maybe this was a birthday or some kind of celebration or something where there was a situation that all of this came about. Maybe this was the situation that caused the whole situation to unravel. But this is also representing for others of you maybe the reconnection is happening with this friendship or this coupleship or this partnership of some sort. Maybe this reconnection is actually being reestablished during this time of this celebration toward the end of October, I suspect, or sometime in October. But it is something about a milestone. So that could be going back to school, or a celebration for a birthday or a holiday, or some kind of, milestone, some kind of situation where people get together to celebrate something of, something significant that is reoccurring. So again, maybe that's where you start to reestablish things, because I feel that there is going to be a decrease in the fear and in the victim mentality. All of these things is starting to dissipate. So I feel like you're getting past things again through the month of October. So the next cards out are I was going to read the Starseed Oracle, but I don't, well, maybe we'll go on to the spellcasting cards here first. I'm just going to take away some of these cards. We're almost done here. Okay, so these are the spellcasting cards. You've got reconciliation, there's life purpose, there's trust, there's courage, there's clarity, there's travel, and there's lighten your load. So again, I feel like you're, for some of you that you're going to be traveling for business, but I definitely feel that you've got the courage, the clarity, and you're able to trust that you're on the right path, and that you're on to, certainly there's some kind of reconciliation, as I mentioned here. And I feel that it might even come about during this period of a celebration here. But it just seems like all those cards really just tie in very nicely together. So overall, like as I said, with the reconciliation card, I just feel that, maybe it's a family reunion of some sort, but, maybe it's a media event. I don't know, but either way, there's some kind of reconnection here. So And again, with the card of life purpose, I feel that you are getting back on track. Again, for others of you, it might be a little further out, past October, but for the most part, you're getting back on track. So there's either some kind of information that you've learned about in the month of October that is setting you back onto this new, or not new, but back onto your life purpose, something that, you know, really identifies you specifically, so you know that you are moving on, you're moving on that path where you knew you always were intended to be. This is about you trusting your intuition so that you can see the path, so you can see the truth of where you're headed. But again, it's still about choosing carefully, because even though you can trust in the situation here, you know, even though you're able to trust in the situation because you have this clarity, you've got this courage, so obviously something's been revealed to you, that you can, I'm just pulling the cards forward here. Okay, so even though you can now trust, you know, because you've taken the right steps, you see the vision, you see things clearly, I still feel that you are needing to keep things close to your chest here. Don't reveal everything about where you're headed and what you're doing just yet, you know, because you may feel like you can trust people again, but you don't. I just don't feel that you have enough information yet to fully, to maybe fully make that that call just yet. I feel that you need to put more into action, establish yourself, create more of a foundation before you actually reveal too much more to others around you, because sometimes it's that one person you can't trust, but you reveal the information to somebody else, and that somebody else, you know, somehow down the line tells to, you know, 3 other people and whatever, and it gets back to the person that you can't trust. So again, just be really mindful of what information you're leaking out yet, even in your enthusiasm about getting back on track, or again with relationships, regards to relationships, you just still want to be careful about you know, where you're placing your trust. So again, you've also got the card of lightening your load. You know, you've already been able to conquer quite a bit, and you definitely, with the courage card, you've got a lot of things that are allowing you to feel safe and protected. So you are able to lighten your load here now in the month of October. And I feel for a lot of you, there is going to be some adventure, some little travel that you're exploring. And again, travel doesn't mean necessarily across the world. I know for some places there's still a lot of restriction, but I mean, travel could be traveling across the city, you know, to a park or to a beach, or, you know, it doesn't have to be traveling, you know, 3 countries over. So again, with travel, but for some reason I'm getting a really strong feeling that this is related to a work situation. For a lot of you again, but either way, there's a sense that you need a break of some sort here. You need to change, but you're very protected with all of those energies and with all of those cards. So okay, so we're almost to the end here. I'm just going to quickly give you, again, I'm not going into a lot of depth with the love cards. I don't focus an awful lot on the love cards, just simply because relationships there's often a strong interplay with many facets of our life. I mean, as far as our business and our work worlds, or, you know, job, employment, that kind of thing, there's always some kind of overlap. We rely on each other. There's a lot of connections. But I also feel that relationships are very complicated, and sometimes having a reading more specific to that, you know, gives you better insight instead of just a touch on. But I will give you just a couple of the cards that came out. So we've got attraction, we've got finances and career, as I mentioned before, and we've also got, this could be the one for those of you that are single, and we've also got make the effort. So again, for those of you that I feel, it's not all for, like for those of you that I feel had relationships where there was a challenge, I don't feel like it's really something you're necessarily giving up. And maybe you just don't see it yet. Maybe there is still something that's salvageable, but you feel that you've written it off, but there may actually be, in fact, something that is still relevant to be looked at twice here. So, but either way, with the attraction card, you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So, there may have been a strain of some sort, again, with romance, that this card really speaks to as well. But it is a card of telling the truth. This is a card that, indicates that there is attraction, and maybe it's attraction that is a little more strenuous right now because there's some difficulty that's present, but sorry. But again, it's still a card of life. It's still a card of, there's still something there, but the card does speak to underlying fears or worry. So you can still allow yourself to visualize this wonderful relationship, but it is also a card of drawing that romantic attraction to you, but there is still some kind of underlying worry that goes with that card. Okay, so the next card out is finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So again, this could be why the situation arose in the first place, that there was some kind of injustice or some kind of maybe money was always an issue or became an issue. But this is a card that indicates, even on the work front as well, while work can be, something that's satisfying and balances us, the card itself indicates that it can also be something that you're neglecting in terms of your own happiness, focusing too much on the money and not enough on the balance of the relationship. So to be a little more lighthearted, is really a feel that I get from that card as well. So, and again, for others of you, it could be just that there were some financial issues that, caused some of the upset in itself. But this card, this could be the one you've already met, the romantic partner that you seek. So maybe this is somebody, again, this is somebody you've already, that you were already having difficulty with, and it's not a new love. This is somebody from your past, or maybe this is the third party situation, not sure. But this is somebody that is, you're not recognizing it, or somebody else is not recognizing the validity of this partnership. They're not really seeing the value in it. And again, with the underlying worry, I still feel this is related to the underlying worry of somebody who's not seeing the value of this relationship, and so maybe they disregarded it or put up walls, didn't put a lot of time and energy into the relationship. But either way, there's some kind of clearing or having a better sense of this relationship that's coming into play here, that is going to help you to clarify, where you're headed. Because the next card out, again, was make the effort. So, clearly there were cards at the beginning there, again, that spoke to pride and health, but pride more specifically, indicates that somebody needs to find a way to negotiate. They need to find a way to heal this situation. They need to make the effort to get past the issues. So, this is something that just can help to reconnect, reestablish bonds, balance. This is about a door opening here for you to take action to a good place. And it can be a good place depending on the amount of effort that both parties put in. You can only put out what you can put out, and if nobody, on the other end, joins in, then what decision you have to make. So, but again, sometimes people need a little bit of a nudge to be able to go forward before they can put together the whole piece of the puzzle. or find a way to motivate themselves to realize what they had. Sometimes they need to step away themselves to be able to go forward. So no rush on that, but to take your time. And again, if that's in regards to a business partnership as well, really same advice, just taking things into a different context there. So the advice cards that came out would be the Queen of Raphael, kind, understanding, giving, psychic, follow your heart, a love of home and family, trustworthy psychic information. So again, divinely led. You also have the Queen of Ariel. So this is a mature, practical, generous, happy person, somebody that's indicating that you need to nurture yourself and those that you care about, those that you love, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical, and wise advice. So again, trying to figure out what it is, as I mentioned earlier, as to what's important to you, and trying to make the best out of reconnecting, with those that you care about, and finding a balance between your spirituality and your work life, and what you want to contribute to your family. What elements are most important to you with your family that you feel you need to invest in. With Strength card, many times over, this came through in the reading, that you need to have strength and grace through kindness, self-confidence, forgiveness. So again, a lot of cards that relate to strength, forgiveness, clarity. You're seeing things better so that you realize what the real issues were and can make better choices. There's also the Seven of Michael. There's a better course of action available for you. So working alone may not be the best course. Review all the details. So again, a lot of sevens that came through in this reading. So again, there was some kind of deceit or some kind of things that were a little underhanded that weren't quite to the forefront, especially with the Moon card. Things weren't all at the surface. So again, just keeping your cards close to your chest. Don't make a lot of sudden moves, and take things slow and easy. With the Four of Michael, insights that come from quiet meditation, the need for more sleep and time off, seek relief from stress. So again, trying to find the balance with the fours, but definitely, taking that time to be introspective before moving forward. Because you do need, sorry, you do need to have a strong foundation before you're actually able to figure out, what's important to you, and know how to act on it. Okay, so the next cards out are Work Your Light, and it's by Rebecca Campbell. And this is the last cards before we get to the financial reading. So again, these ones are very new for me, so I'm going to have to struggle through them a little bit here. But again, that's the front and back, but these were given to me by a very dear friend. So don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So, this is a card of expansion, so you really need to be aware of your own presence. Don't retract. You want to be able to empower yourself. You want to be able to shine in a way where you're, putting out your best. So, you don't want to walk away to let somebody else stand in the limelight when you actually have something, something to contribute here. So, irregardless of whether or not you feel uncomfortable, don't shy away. And this also stands up to relationships. This would be a card that's letting you know that it's normal, to feel uncomfortable when someone says, I love you, or when they're trying to, forgive or trying to reconnect or whatever. But this is a lesson that's letting you know that it's okay to have loved and lost. It's also okay to respect yourself. So if some of you have to let go of some people in your life that allows you to feel stronger, then that's what you need to do. And again, sometimes it's just putting boundaries around other people versus, extricating them entirely. Okay, so the next card out is Soul Family. So again, calling your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. And of course, there's lots of cards here indicating that you have a lot of people coming forward. You've got collaboration cards, you've got celebration cards. You also have somebody that's coming through that is going to be, either teaching you or guiding you or creating some kind of insight, but there's lots of protection from the universe or from your angelic, angelic beings, or as well from your ancestors that have crossed over. And again, for some of you, I feel that is relevant. But again, it's still about, don't dim your light, be seen. The card is also about, using your support team and your resources. And if some of you are in need of going to a healer or a mentor or a therapist, this is a card that's also letting you know it's okay to seek that support. It's important for you to be able to regain balance, to transform. And that's exactly what the next card is out, is transformation. So, this is about, there are things changing at a cellular level. It's about a deep healing. So this card is about, again, releasing all the old ways and letting go of trauma. It's about getting rid of old childhood patterns. It's about you healing you doing you, and finding ways to rebuild, going through your shadow side. You don't want to put a whole bunch of pressure on yourself to perform or be perfect, but you do need to review your relationships with yourself, with those around you, to be able to heal things. So you have to know what the issues are before you can actually heal them. So it does mean moving into an uncomfortable place to resolve. And then the last card out is the Keepers of the Earth. So again, that one is more along the lines of, you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So for sure, divine spirit guiding you through. Okay, very last one's out. Sorry, this reading went on a little longer than I expected. Okay, so we've got big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. You got the love, Hadrian energy, codependency, boundaries. Maybe this was a codependent relationship. We've also got perspective. And again, none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So again, make some of those small issues, if they're too numerous to deal with, zoom out and see the bigger picture so that you can resolve and see some of the answers. We also have all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So again, still doing some inner work there with the shadow side to heal, and know that home is, it's where you feel safe, and safety comes from, within. You have to feel safe within to be able to externally create that safety outside of yourself. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And again, you can't control all aspects of a situation. You can only control your part in it. So don't try to fix everything and think that because you said all the right things, that means that the other person will respond in exactly the way that you intended it. Because the real picture or the real reality of those things is that everybody heals in their own way, and it takes time. And so all you can do is say your piece, step back, let the person deal with the information, and then see where it goes from there. So the big picture thinking, again, is really about you're just being reminded that it's never too late to learn new things and change your future. So use your visions, to heal the world, to see a new vision for humanity. This is about being the big picture thinker again. You really have to be able to dream things into being, is how the card presents it. So this is a card of, support, and making decisions that are only possible when you have a clear picture in mind. So, and able to dream a new world into being, for yourself or for others. You need to hold in your mind's eye what's important and not to worry about what others think. It's about taking the courage to trust your vision and move on this new path. So the next card out was the You've Got the Love card. And again, pull it forward here. So you got the love, Hadrian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Again, this card feels to me, especially when it mentions codependency, that maybe that's why this connection is more maybe karmic in nature or soulful connection of some sort. You can't really have a healthy relationship if you're both in strong need of each other. You need to be able to create boundaries and have independence and allow the other person to develop themselves outside of yourself, so that it becomes a relationship that is symbiotic rather than two people operating from the same hip. You need to be able to establish healthier boundaries with this for those of you that are dealing with a relationship issue. And again, it's, the anxiousness and the anxiety comes from you, not so much from the situation. It's about our own personal journey where we haven't healed, and we've got a lot of our own childhood issues of abandonment that often surface, and we cover them up, and we, put them onto other people or transfer them onto other people unknowingly, because we're not really addressing our own issues. We're focusing so much more entirely on the other person. So again, it's about coming together when you're both in a healthier place. And again, that does require sometimes a change in perspective, or even a change in, getting counseling of some sort to help to deal with some of the issues that you're not able to face, or the other person's not able to face at this time. I mean, you're not going to be perfectly matched on the level of healing. So with perspective, you really want to step back, take a look at the bigger picture. It's like the Hanged Man, basically. You're shifting your point of view, zooming things in and out, so that you can find a way to see a new pathway here, is really what's happening. So you want to be able to move forward, and that requires you to break down some of the fences or the walls of those invisible borders that you're putting up, because you think you need it to survive, but in actual fact, it's just a way of feeling safer emotionally. But emotionally, you can actually handle a lot more than you think you can. And then there's not just the pain, but there's also the healing, and then there is the reward, and you're actually able to expand and find better solutions, because you found a new sense of compassion for yourself and another person in that moment of pain. We also have all paths lead to home. So again, sorry, that card is about using your intuition to be able to find your way home and stay connected. So you're not being cut off from the world. You're actually finding a way to develop your spirituality and use it to center yourself. And so you're not switching off from the realities of your conscious to the subconscious, or your spiritual to the material. This is where you're actually drawing strength and balancing by using one to reinforce the other. So where the spirituality guides you in the material world helps to guide you and strengthen you in a deeper place within, and that helps you to feel a stronger connection to spirit. Okay, so the last card out is Water Your Garden. So this one is all about nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. And again, it's just about stepping back and doing you and healing you and taking responsibility for your own well-being, not waiting for somebody else to come in and sustain you or to water you. This is about you pushing on, but it's not just, but again, you're not pushing through the fatigue and all of the pain. You're actually sustaining yourself by pulling back, considering your immune system and the things that you need to do to, clear your head and get you mentally healthy again. So you're putting on the brakes, restoring, rejuvenating, and then you're pushing forward again. So you're just taking a step back to be able to take 2 steps forward. So you want to look at what it is that your body's calling for. Is it calling for more water? Is it calling for more exercise? You feel constantly drained, you need to sleep, those kinds of things. Don't ignore the body, because otherwise the body will eventually have some, drawback. Okay, so moving into the physical aspects, or sorry, I guess we'd be talking about the financial aspects here. Okay, so I did pull some clarifiers on a few cards, but we do have, these are the clarifiers with the Ten of Wands and the Victory card. You do have a few tens out here as well, so there's definitely some endings on a few different fronts for you. But again, I'll start with the Page of Swords here. So Page can represent an individual, it can represent a person that's coming through, can be you, but it is an energy of a youthful person, but it's for sure overall standing up for yourself on some front. Could be a contest of wills, and again, it's so closely related to the Hierophant here as well, and the Libra card, which is Justice, Scales, and the Emperor. So to me, it seems to me that you are standing up for yourself on some kind of a legal front for a lot of you. This can be, for others of you, sort of taking on that spirit of learning, but again, I feel like it's more related to, some kind of fighting an injustice of some sort. The card is also, relating to petty arguments or something in love and that kind of thing. But again, this part is more along the lines of financial, career-oriented opportunities. So I do feel that there is an idea that's coming in for you. I do feel that you're seeing the truth in a situation. And I feel that there is perhaps a lot of gossip that's around you, and there is somebody that is causing a lot of difficulty here. That something needs to be negotiated here, is what I would say is kind of the advice of that card here. So, but whatever is being negotiated is successful, because there is a victory, there is a win here with the Six of Wands. So I'm just checking to see if we have more than one page here. Actually, no, I think it is just the one. So anyway, what I was getting at here is that there is some kind of new start or new beginning, something that was a weight or a burden, some kind of a challenge that I feel that you were weighted down by. Again, you have a victory over. But again, whatever that challenge was, could have related to somebody with a youthful energy. It could be somebody who is quite creative as well. As I said, it does represent a person. So if it's representing a person, we are talking about somebody who's very creative. We're talking about somebody who has could have a little bit of a sharp tongue as well, but very bright. Somebody who is quite clever and seeks truth, and somebody who has no fear, somebody who's quite logical and factual, and definitely a champion for justice, as they say. But really, the overall energy I feel is that you're winning some kind of a battle in a court situation. Or again, because the Hierophant can also represent some kind of traditional values, that kind of thing could be in relation to a marriage of some sort. It might even be with a Libra person, Libra individual coming through with the Justice card. But again, for others of you, it's related around a legal situation. So there is some kind of a win that's coming through here, because the the Hierophant does speak to traditional values and rules and things along the lines of government even. So anything that, it can also speak to, teacher of wisdom and all of those things, but just because of the nature of the cards and so many, victory cards and challenge and win and really strong, forceful cards, I feel that this is less about spirituality and really more about corporations or some kind of structure, or again, relationship in love that is traditional, that maybe there was a difficulty that went to court, that kind of thing. Or again, on a business front, maybe something had to go to court, or there's some kind of injustice along that line that needed to be resolved. With that justice energy, that legal energy. So again, I think that one's pretty straightforward there. But I would also say that with the Emperor card here as well, I feel that there was somebody, whether this is you or, but I suspect that it's not, but I feel that this is somebody that was very overconfident. Maybe this is a partnership that went bad as far as a business. But somebody who was very overconfident, very very controlling, over controlling, very disciplined, but very powerful, older person here, that could have been with this younger energy where a partnership broke apart. But this is generally representative of somebody who is a father figure or somebody who's really strategic and protective, but and logical, and practical, that kind of thing. But I feel that this is somebody who was overly dominating of a situation, and caused, maybe there was something in relation to this person being a little too dangerous. I'm not really sure. The only reason I'm tying that in is because of the Seven of Swords. But somebody was doing some dangerous things, or things that just weren't savory. With the Ten of the Ten of Swords here as well. I mean, it's for sure a completion. It's an end of some sort. It's an ending of some sort. You've ended a cycle. You're ready to move on to something else. And again, there were a lot of cards of swords here. So I feel on the financial front, you're really having to release a lot of tension, and get past, whatever this scheming sort of feeling was that was coming through on a couple of different decks with the Seven of Swords. So this is about secrets, things coming to the forefront, forces opposing, a breakdown of some of the rules, or somebody who's breaking the rules and being dishonest and afraid to face the music here. And again, I did feel that there was an end to all of that manipulation, or something being hidden or secretive. And again, as well, we could even take it on that light as well, that this is somebody who's doing a lot of spying and a lot of manipulation that's going on here between these three cards, and something maybe was taken to court, and again there was a resolve because there is a victory. And even though it was weighing heavy on you, there is definitely an end and a conclusion, and you're actually able to move forward a lot more carefree here with the Fool. So you're ready for new challenges. You're ready for a new situation. This is the beginning of, it's a transition. It's more of a balanced transition. It's about, moving on to something that is more optimistic, and something you can actually get behind, and you're more enthusiastic about. And again, it can even be the starting of a new business here, because you did actually have several of the Sun cards coming through, and that is also indicative of that positive, successful, joyful energy. And again, you've got the universe bringing in something with the Ace of Cups for you. So there is definitely success coming through. Something that is going to be monetary, I suspect, because it is very closely related with the Ten of Pentacles here as clarifiers. But it is coming at either a crossroads or a time where you've had to change your perspective. This could represent you in the reading as well, because we do have a Leo energy there. With the Queen of Wands. But I do feel, like I said, there is some kind of accomplishment or something that's coming through there. The Queen of Wands is somebody who is, a Leo energy. It could be you, as I say. It doesn't have to be male or female, but coming through in your own reading here. And this is somebody who is a leader. This is somebody who is dedicated and focused now. Very optimistic energy, or optimistic person, somebody who's quite a warrior. This is a mature energy when it's a queen. And again, it could be male or female, but again, this could also represent anybody who's involved with publicity or entrepreneurial workshop, presenting, author, anything along those lines, or consulting. But this is definitely a financial success, a card of financial success as well, because this person is very charismatic and has the ability to, they're very friendly and outgoing and attractive. They draw people to them. So they use that energy in their careers. This is somebody who knows how to win. This is somebody that knows where they're going, and they maximize their ability, their potential. and they take action because it is a wand energy. So again, the universe is bringing something through for this person, and certainly the energy behind it is one that is successful with the Ten of Pentacles. So I also feel, again, you've got another Libra energy coming through here. So with the Queen of Swords, I mean, that can also speak to clarity of truth and certainly energy around um, you know, as I say, Libra or Virgo energy here, but this could also be representing a lawyer or a businesswoman, but it's also a very intuitive time with this card. And it does represent somebody who's quite creative and very has the knowledge to move past pain and hurt, and you know, really, they don't know how to let their guard down and let you in. But this is somebody that has is true to themselves, I guess is what I want to say here. This is somebody who's motivational, but again, very intuitive. And I feel that either you're being asked to be very intuitive, or this is someone that's around you. But if you are being asked to be more intuitive and to tell it like it is, and you know, to keep moving forward, use your intellect, be shrewd, you know, and use your knowledge and use your lively intellect, that kind of thing. Stand in your own truth. Be objective. Be fair. Be logical. That's what that card could also be in terms. If it's not a person for you, then this would be the advice that is being given to you by the divine. So, with the Chariot as well as the Six of Pentacles, clarifying again, the Chariot I feel is you've got some. There's some kind of victory that's coming through here. I do feel that there is reciprocity. There is some kind of fair-minded decision that has come about. You know, where you did have the energy of the Hanged Man, you know, letting go of emotional baggage and that kind of thing to be able to bring about the Ten of Cups, where you were rewarded, you know. I do feel that, and that was a reward again from the universe. I do feel that you're also being rewarded here again with the with the Six of Pentacles, and that it's almost like there's more than one victory here. That is leading you to a feeling of success or a feeling that you are more empowered. And again, it just feels like there's more than one victory here that does come with money. There's also some kind of a sense of new opportunities to make money that are opening up to you, and that a legal matter might be the precipitator as to how you're going to fund it, or you know, maybe it opens up a way for you to be able to build on it. But with the Chariot energy, again, it's about overcoming obstacles. It's success, determination, ambition, strong force, hard work. But it can be a hard-won victory as well. But either way, there is successful determination that's coming through there. And with the Six of Pentacles, definitely some kind of a gain. Okay, so I mentioned that you've got a lot of pentacles that lead up to one another here as well. So again, I feel like there's some kind of a, you know, either a charitable win of some sort that's coming through here. But you've got the Six of Pentacles. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. You've got the Nine of Pentacles. You've got the Three of Pentacles. You've got the Queen of Pentacles. There's definitely some kind of financial gain that's coming through here. So whatever that is for you, it feels like it's coming through on more than one front. So if there was some kind of a loss in the past, it's all coming back as a gain. So again, this might draw over into November for some of you, because, I mean, not everybody's going to court on November the 14th, for example. I mean, some of this is going to be residual energies, something that may not be quite resolved yet. But again, with the Nine of Pentacles, I feel that you're feeling quite independent and successful, and you feel that you've got some recognition here as well. There's definitely, it could relate to somebody who is, you know, it could be a lover of some sort here too, but the Knights can also be a carrier of information, news coming through. But there is some kind of accomplishment that, again, is, you know, this person's quite resourceful. This person is now feeling much more independent. You know, they're feeling much as though there's more money than expected that's come through. sorry, is what I'm picking up here with that. With the Knight of Wands energy, again, these are the clarifiers. Sorry, I shouldn't do these so late at night. But with the clarifiers, again, I feel that the Knight of Wands in this particular instance is more about a message that's coming through about the Page of Wands, but it's definitely still energy. It's still a lot of energy that's starting to pick up toward the end of October, and again, probably a little further into November here. But I feel that, you know, if this is representing a person, it would be representing somebody, because the Hangman showed up there. It could be somebody that's just in and out of your life here, that was restless or unreliable, and you know, loves to be loved, doesn't like to be possessed. You know, lover not a fighter, that kind of thing. More action adventure sort of oriented kind of character, but again, I think for others of you, this is really just a message that's coming through with the Knight of Wands. You know, that there is, with the Page coming through again, and actually with the Page, I do feel that this is some kind of, something needs expression here, but it is expression that is coming through with the help of others, that's leading to that independence, and definitely somebody who is going to be quite skilled and masterful. I don't feel that this is like some new thing that you're learning. I think that this is something that is expanding, but it's also a card of good news coming in. So it's good news coming in about money that is coming through. And again, it just feels as though, on another front, it might be that, you know, maybe this is somebody they feel that you're too good for them, or something along that line. But either way, somehow associated with money coming through. If this Queen of Pentacles is related to a person, it would be a person who's nurturing and knows how to look after money, and, you know, definitely somebody who looks after her family and is very, you know, concerned about everybody, and is very good with money. And again, queens are usually more mature in age, but certainly it is somebody who is home loving and practical. If we are talking about a person, somebody who's quite creative as well. But family-oriented and established, and it could even be somebody who's involved as a healer, but definitely a multitasker of sorts. But I would say either way, you're getting help. There's somebody coming through to help you on many fronts. And again, I forgot to mention, you also had the Eight of Pentacles. So there's lots of progression with this money. This is not just something about money coming through. This is still money building. This is money that's still being built, especially with the Three of Wands. It looks like you're taking this money and turning it into something else, or reinvesting it in some way. So whatever this win is, I feel like there's more to come. You know, because with the Three of Wands, this is about a waiting period. So maybe the money isn't all coming through in October, but there's something, and there's something that you know about anyway as well. But this is the Three of Wands. It can be, again, it speaks to a waiting period, but definitely something's coming. And again, it could be representative of 3 days, 3 weeks. There's lots of threes in this reading. So 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. But there is definitely something with the three here. It is a card about potential and a determined dreamer. So again, it feels like there's other people around here. There's about some kind of networking energy with all those threes. There is definitely, you know, a lot of wands and some swords that were coming through. So lots of energy, a lot of communication, a lot of heated words, perhaps sharp words, a lot of battles or arguing. But this can be, again, it spoke to travel in here as well. And this card could also speak to a new journey and something about travel as well. So again, it could be travel that's related to teamwork, or, you know, commerce, or, you know, going out on this new adventure for work. But either way, there's some kind of expanding potential. freelancing, something along that line, or traveling for this success. Because I feel this is about skill and mastery with the Eight of Pentacles. This is about building, doing the everyday, putting in the hard work, widening your knowledge base, and adding to your existing base. And again, you have all the pentacles pretty much leading up to this. So this is hard work. This is energy that you're really you're really supporting your own goal by you're putting in the work. You're really mastering the skills. You're really concentrating to get this done. You're really persevering. You're being disciplined, and very focused. But this King of Wands is an indicator of that level of success that you're about to achieve. So again, there's still a waiting period and there's still a lot of growth yet, but this is about a talent that is being discovered here. This is something that I feel you're going to get a lot of recognition for, because this is somebody who tends to be a inspiring role model. This is someone who has succeeded, and again, if it's a person that's coming in to help you, this would be somebody who's already successful, already a business entrepreneur, somebody who is quite successful, might even be, already doing speaking, public speaking or something along that line. But either way, it's somebody who's able to actualize their ideas. So again, I feel this is for more of you. I feel this is you being able to actualize your ideas. You're setting out on the journey. I feel that there is some kind of travel that's involved here down the road, if not, in the immediate couple of months. But either way, there's some kind of good fortune that comes through and a talent that's being discovered. Okay, anyway, I figure I better stop at the next 4 hours. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight where you're headed, what's happening for October, Leo. I won't do all the readings this long, just happened to be what it was tonight. I felt inspired to read a little longer today. But either way, I wanted to wish you well, and throughout the month of October and through whatever this potential court proceeding was. And looks like lots of victories coming through. Keep your cards close to your chest. Don't reveal an awful lot about what you're doing. Certainly, implement the power of forgiveness and the potential for travel and some money coming through, and definitely something that's going to give you some happiness for the month of October. You're taking that leap of faith, and you're able to free yourself from a lot of that heavy energy that you've been dealing with. So again, just be mindful of forgiveness and keeping your ego in check if it's you, or if it's in regards to the other person. Give the other person a chance to heal in their own way, and you keep moving forward. So until November, Leo, have a great October and Halloween, and see you in the coming months. Good luck.